Okay, bonjour. Le bulletin trimestriel. So I've given you an example here if the screen loads. So I know it's hard to see, but they are typically handwritten in French. So over here we have a picture of the student, Mathieu. And then we have bulletin trimestriel for classe de troisième. The student's name, the class, the professeur. This is the teacher, okay? Over here, we have words like math, français, anglais, physique, histoire géo, technologie. So these are classes. Okay, those are the classes that the student is taking. And then in this middle column, we have numbers. So this is a 13, 16.3, 16.2, 12, 12.8, 8, 18 and a half, 17, 12.9. Okay. And then over here we have some comments. So for the number 13, it says acceptable. Acceptable. For, let's see, 18.5, for technology, it says excellent. Excellent. So I want you to just kind of think, what do you think that those numbers represent? So those are the grades. But, so those are not percentages, right? You're not going to get a comment like excellent for an 18.5%. So these are not grades out of 100. These are grades out of 20. The French grading scale is out of 20. And you're like, what? I know. So if 18.5 gets excellent, what I want you to keep in mind is that a 20 does not exist in France, okay? In America, you get lots of participation points, right? In our school, you get lots of participation points, lots of effort grades, you get a 100. In France, nobody gets 100%. The idea is that you could always, always have done a better job. Okay, so there's always room for improvement for everybody. So really an 18.5 is probably about the highest that it's going to get. Okay, and then you can see 13s, 12s, those are acceptable but not great. So like this 12.8, it says catastrophique. Catastrophic. Okay, so that's not great. And then we have a 17, it says très bien. So the 13s or 12s are not super great, but those are acceptable. So an A is really a 13 to a 16. Anything above a 16 is like an A plus, like you're doing the best work in the school. Anything below a 13 is probably like, you could have done more. Okay. Anything below a 10 is basically failing. So here, right here, so this is kind of a better idea to give you a better idea of what the grading scale looks like. You can see some of those comments that were on 8 are not great. Not great comments, okay? So over here in green, I've given you some possible positive comments, and over here on the right in red, I've given you some negative comments. So we have excellent, excellent, bon travail, good work, bon étudiant, great student, and bravo, bravo. We have mauvais, bad, pas bien, not good, étudie plus, study more. And then my personal favorite, ferme la bouche, close your mouth. So what you are going to do with these examples is, oh, I didn't even pull it up. Hold on. You're going to look at your copy of the Bulletin Trimestriel that you have. You're going to type your name and your grade here. And you are going to write down the 8 classes in French. So for some classes, there's not going to be a great French translation, like freshman seminar. Okay, there's not going to be a great translation for that, so just write it in English. Most of the classes that you have, you should be able to write a French word for based on the vocabulary I've taught you. If I haven't taught you the vocabulary word reference it. Okay, so you can look up like engineering if you have that class. And then in the middle, moyenne d'élève, this is where you're going to estimate your grade on the French scale. So even if you have 100 on your in your report card, even if you had 100, don't give yourself more than a 17. Okay, that's kind of where I want you to max out. And then in this third column where it says appréciation, this is where you type one of those possible commentaries. So what do you think? Pick one of these 8. What do you think your teacher would say about you in French. Okay, and then you're going to hit that submit button, turn this in.